As a new student, it's very important to be thinking about training to black belt now. You need to get acquainted with our school, with your environment, with the philosophy of our school, and you need to get acquainted with the process of our classes and our curriculum. As a parent, I can assure you, every time your child is in class, he's going to have a lot of fun. Frankly, as an adult, every time I'm in class, I have a lot of fun.
He's excited to come to class, excited for tournaments, and advancing and showing his improvement and things like that. He's been great and he loves it.
But the important thing to understand is that this is a school. If you were going to Harvard, you wouldn't decide from midterm to midterm whether you're going to follow through with your bachelor's degree. You would commit to that tremendous goal and stick with it. It's very important early on as you enter our school to decide what your outcome is going to be. At TM Martial Arts, the outcome is to become a black belt. Black belt is more of a metaphor for the outcome, and the outcome is confidence and discipline and focus. The outcome is a high level of physical athletic skill, as well as having the ability to defend yourself if you ever needed to.
She used to be very shy when she first started here, very timid, very shy, very scared. But now I know that she speaks her mind, she acts upon her actions, and she tells people how she really feels. She's stronger physically and emotionally, and as a parent, that made me more committed and coming in for extra, classes.
The nice thing about martial arts training, unlike a team activity, is that you are only competing with yourself, trying to be better than you were the day before. We provide incentives and rewards on an incremental basis, so each student stays motivated in class.
It's so important to understand that this is more than a recreational activity. This is a school. Training to black belt is a developmental process.
He loves coming on a weekly basis. I truly love that he is learning good habits from this. It's turning him into a
Black belt.
Turning a black belt, right?
So the parent makes a commitment to bring their child to class twice a week, sometimes 3. The child has a regular class that they attend. They're going to have a lot of fun in that class by a very well-trained, professionally developed instructor. And through the process, they're going to train to become a black belt. And frankly, for a 5 or 6-year-old, it's no more difficult to get a black belt than it is to go from 2nd grade to 6th grade. Any of our black belts here at TM Martial Arts, the way they got to black belt is they started with one step, setting the goal. For a child, here's how that goal is set. The child has fun in class, they have a high level of enthusiasm, they get to see other black belt students or higher level students, and they decide they want to be just like that. And for the parents, it's so important to look at it, look forward into the future and say, my 7-year-old, if they were a 10 or 11-year-old black belt and they had all the outcomes that go along with that at school and at home, is that something that we would like for our family?
We get to spend time together as a family. We don't get to do a lot of that with our busy schedules with school and work and everything else. It gives me an opportunity to watch my kids grow in their self-confidence and their ability to take care of themselves in different situations as well.
And if that parent makes that decision and their child has initial enthusiasm and some immediate aptitude in class, those pieces go hand in hand, and then it's a family decision to follow through and become a black belt.
Overall, it's nice to be able to have a program that grows with you, as well as it fits your needs, but it's challenging. Something that we can obviously do together.
What some people are afraid of is that when they take that next step and commit to training to black belt, is it going to be very time intensive? Is it going to be a huge time commitment? But the reality is, over the next several years, it's a twice-a-week class commitment.
This school is no different than any major university. We're one of the top martial arts schools in the world, and we want to make sure that we have a graduation rate that is just as good. It's approximately a 4-year process to black belt. We want to make sure that we qualify students to make sure that they are going to be a good fit into the student body and that they are going to be up to the rigors of getting their black belt.
We want to make sure they have everything they need to become a black belt. That means that inner motivation to work hard, that determination not to give up, and the support from their family and their parents to make sure that they get over the difficult rough patches and move on to the other side, experience that success.
I think it's impacted him in trying harder at new things and learning that failure, it's okay at the beginning as long as he continues to practice and he gets better. So, I mean, at least in that point, he's not as harsh on himself. He just knows that he needs to continue to practice more.
Okay, so how does the evaluation process for black belt work?
For a new student, our instructors take a look at the student and try to decide about aptitude and interest. They decide if they feel comfortable with working with you on a 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7-year basis in order for you to develop into the black belt. If a child is a 3rd grader now, they can achieve their 1st degree black belt by the time they're a 7th grader. It's a clear process to go through. Obviously, the curriculum gets more difficult as we go, but they are guided through that curriculum.
As a new student, you're also evaluating us. You're evaluating both the material that we're giving you here and your experience in class, your interaction with your instructors and other students. You're trying to decide whether it's a good fit for your family, whether the philosophy of our school and the outcome that you see is really what you want for your family. You really have to make a choice between one of 2 options early on. Option 1 is you're going to do this for a short period of time, and then that's all you're going to do with martial arts. Or option 2 is you're going to train all the way to black belt.
And our objective is that once a family has made the decision to be a black belt, that with very rare exceptions, they're going to get a black belt.
And they follow up with teaching your kid all the achievements and the discipline that you can with a child. And that's what was most important. When my son comes home, he loves it because it's a family, and I couldn't turn that away.
So you've decided you want your child to train to black belt. What is the next step? The next step is to set an appointment with one of us to talk about the different options you have for training to black belt. We'll help you find your best fit and we'll get you started on that program. I guarantee that committing to train to black belt is going to be the best decision you've ever made.